So today we're going to be talking about drama and what is it? Why do we seem to be so predisposed to turning towards drama, and what is it? How does it not help you? So we'll talk about that today on episode 22 of The Relaxed Male. Hello and welcome to Relaxed Male, a podcast that helps men change their relationship with themselves. I am your host, Brian, and I am a men's life and mindset coach who is here to help you understand that you don't have to suffer at your own expense. You can live your dream, and I encourage you to set, then pursue your goals. So join me as I change the mindset and attitudes of men so that they can be the leaders of their families and their destinies. Hey man, hello and welcome to Relaxed Male. All right, so talking drama today. Now, drama, we're not talking about like acting and things like that. That can show, that can have a lot of the same elements in it. It's not quite what we're talking about. You hear people talking about, oh God, they got to have so much drama, and it's always about drama. Well, we're talking more along that type of line, drama in other people's lives, but more specifically, drama in your life. Because, to start off with, let's look at what drama is. As a whole, drama is the extra unneeded emotion that is that you produce in your life due to a lack of detail is the root of it all. And we create so much extra emotion and extra drama in our life when we get those stories about something, but we don't have the whole story. And so we start, filling in all that bits of detail with the worst possible outcomes, the worst possible scenarios that could possibly happen. So when we're talking about emotion, the emotions of a story, and it's the story that we tell ourselves, story that we're telling our friends. That's where, and all these extra emotions come from our reptile part of the brain, that wonderful part of the brain, that's supposed to be keeping us safe and comfortable. But at the same time, because it's trying to keep us safe, it creates so much extra stress and anxiety and all that in our mind. And so because of the fact that we tell ourselves stories that are so emotionally charged that it just, it's drama in our today's life, life today really isn't necessary, but we've got it always there. We have always got, we're an emotional creature. So we've always got our stories are always going to have some level of emotion. Look at movies and plays and things like that. Would you ever go to a movie that was just about an average guy going about his average day and nothing really happened? No, that would be a completely boring movie and we wouldn't care to watch it. So we want to watch things blowing up and people having, crises in their lives. And we see all this and that triggers our brain. We find that to be more entertaining. So we have to have that drama in our life. And that's where drama and acting kind of play together because we have a need for in entertainment for that dramatic flair. Look at reality television. No, I'm not a big fan of it. Boy, they do love to pile in the drama, and I've found myself more times than not being sucked into a reality television show, while at the same time looking down my nose at it, though I'm sitting there making judgments and all that, getting wrapped up into that drama. So we are drawn to drama We respond to the drama that comes about in our life and from what we see. So, but a common example, and this is closer to the type of drama that I'm actually wanting to talk about here, is say your son just turned 16 or whatever it is for anyhow, he just got his driver's license. He's got made it through got his learner's permit, and he's been driving you around all over town. It's kind of nice, you don't have to drive. But at the same time, we know how stressful it is, because it's like, stop. Oh, don't turn that fast. Oh, forgot your, we do all the things that we do that do no benefit to our son as he's trying to learn how to drive. We're screaming and hollering and gripping onto the oh crap bar and but finally, he's gone through all the steps that he's needed. He's taken the driving test, passed the driving test, maybe on his first time, maybe on his second time. And the Friday night comes along with his first official driver's license. He wants to take the car out. Well, what do you may kind of hem and haw, and eventually you relent and you let him take it out on Friday night, telling him, you give him a deadline, maybe 10 o'clock. And tell him he needs to be back then. Well, we all know normally our son may be typically a very punctual kid, and he shows up with a minute or two to spare. And but then we have he gets the car and he's out, and tell him at 10 o'clock, but around 10:15 he's not there. Well, as you go through you're like, oh, okay, after the first minute or two of after 10, you're like, okay, well, he's making it home, may not realize exactly how long it takes to drive from one place, from downtown to back to the house, or, whatever. But as it seems like as each minute ticks by, something else comes into play. Oh, he was running late and saw a friend. Oh, his friend had problems, so he's consoling his friend. And from there, it's like, you get even worse and worse scenarios building up in your head. And next thing you know, he had, a flat tire. So he's trying to get the flat tire changed. He's got engine problems. He keeps going, and it builds and builds and builds to the point to where, he's been in a drag race. He's wrecked the car. He's laying dead, dying in a ditch. And, the sad thing is he probably, you're worried about, whether or not he's got clean underwear on. You start really adding all these different layers of what ifs onto that. And that's the amygdala, that reptile part of your brain sitting back there going, hey, it could be this. 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 Oh, hey, maybe even this. Maybe the aliens came by, beamed him out, and the car is just sitting abandoned on a country road someplace. You don't know what's going on. And so your brain, due to the lack of information, your brain, your amygdala is going into overdrive, dumping cortisol into the system, which builds more neurons to the amygdala, cuts off the thinking part of your brain. And so all of a sudden you're in overdrive. You've got all this drama building up. And maybe you're the one that's got all worked up, or maybe it's your wife, and the other one doesn't have that same type of worry building up. And, right there. Well, that's an example of, your circumstances are completely neutral. But, as you allow your amygdala to continue running, you create worse and worse scenarios in your mind till eventually he shows up at, 10:36 and explains that he just lost track of time. And you find out that you actually got yourself really worked up over absolutely nothing, though. Being late is something you want them to understand. Punctuality is there's a reason why you have time, but another example is, say your wife, you're at work and your wife texts you with with 2 words, call me. Well, you can choose to either just, okay, she wants me to call her, or a lot of times we oh no, something's wrong, something's going on. And you start developing this, your brain will, because it doesn't know why, the context of the two words, call me. You don't know. We've got danger. We've got problems. We've got a bulldozer sitting outside of the front of our house about ready to bulldoze it down because they think we're the next door neighbors. There's a whole bunch of different scenarios that can crop up just from the word, hey, call me. And so when you call her, it's just, it might turn out that she was actually just wanting you to go grab some milk on the way home. So why do we turn to drama so much if that causes so much problems in our life? It causes so much unneeded stress. Well, our brains are just wired for drama. I mean, it's like I said, especially because drama is a lack of information. It's our brain running on overdrive due to the fact that we don't have all the details that we need to make an actual accurate decision on something. Because we don't have all the information, our amygdala, it being the emotional part of the brain, really starts kind of cranking out all the different possibilities. And when your amygdala is running, your prefrontal cortex isn't running near as hard. And so it may be able to throw in some little details that kind of help mitigate it. But if you choose to just let the drama run, it really can create some different types of problems. My son actually dated a girl that I called the chaos machine because it was all about chaos to her. There was so much drama with her that anything that was going on she was coming up with every possible worst case scenario you could possibly think of. When he was dating her stepdad was a drug abuser, and he ended up dying because of a drug overdose. And as part of the standard procedure, the police go and they interview all the different family members, people who knew him and stuff like that. And she ended up getting just a standard interview. And she came for the next week or two. All she could talk about was the fact that the police are investigating her. They think that she killed him. And we're like, no, they've just got to cover all their bases. So they have to ask you, and no matter what you told her, no matter what you said, it was always the worst. Oh, they think I'm going to be arrested any day now because they think I killed him. And I was like, no, because one, he was over in a completely different town in a completely different state than where you were in. So there's no way that that they're going to pin anything on you. And so, but it was always like that with her. There was something would happen. She said, oh my gosh, Anna. She would just go off to the worst case scenario. And that was what to her was going to happen. And it was just always so much energy and so much stress and everything around that I mean, we really celebrated when my son finally said, you know what, I can't handle this chaos anymore. Split with her. Drama does a lot for us. Like I said, because we are wired for drama, we can it may help us a little bit with planning for the possible worst. But as Mark Twain said, I've had many terrible things happen to me, but most of them never happened. I've had several terrible things in my life, but luckily most of them never happened. That's how it goes. So we worry so much, and we cause all this stress and cause all this suffering because our brain wants to just let the amygdala just run and have its way. But drama really, at the core of it, doesn't serve us in any feasible form. And so it happens, and we get ourselves wrapped up in it, but we often choose to actually allow that to happen. And because we have so much more interaction, it makes us feel a little more, almost like we have a little more control. Though in all reality, if you look at it, if you allow your prefrontal cortex to actually, the logic part of your brain to actually have a run at what the problems are, you can actually reduce the amount of stress. So it's while the amygdala is very automatic, we have to be very intentional with actually making ourselves think through the problems. A good example of this is when it comes to drama is next time you are telling yourself a dramatically drama-filled story, try stopping the conversation that you're having with yourself, or you're having with your friend, and go talk about, hey, what's a different way I can phrase this that's in a positive or beneficial way? And you will see and feel your brain just grinding against itself, trying to come up with a way to reframe that. You can be just working hard, and that's a great one to actually even try on your friends. You have a friend who is just wanting to just tell all this what's happening at work, which is, we have a problem with rumor mills. And I'll get into rumor mills here in a second, but he's sitting there and he's cranking out one of the local company rumor mill stories, and stop him in mid sentence and go, hey, reframe that story in a positive light, and watch on their face as they struggle to do that. And it's so hard, man. That's because, again, we're wired for this drama, but it's such an interesting exercise that it helps to try that, because because what you're having to do is, when you're trying to reframe it in a more positive angle, you're shifting your thought from the amygdala back up to the logic part of your brain, and it's having to come up with the logic for that story so that it's framed in a positive manner. And so the more you're able to do that, you can actually minimize the amount of drama in your life. But it's such an interesting way of watching people sit there and just work against the drama that they have built up in their life. Now, drama causes a lot of different problems. The big one being just undue stress. But if you're in a company, when you get a rumor mill running, holy smokes, that thing cranks out, and all of a sudden, because you had a slightly down month, you'll start getting stories of, well, the company can't last but another 2 months at this, and so people start really coming up with all sorts of wild and crazy stories about what's happening in the company. And again, that's all because of a lack of information. Someone got a little bit of information. Maybe they overheard a board meeting, and they were talking about how they were down a bit. And this is the second month they've been down, and we can't be keeping this up. And they have just that little nugget. They don't have any references to what that nugget of information is about. And so what do? They take that information and they really they share people with what their thoughts and what their concerns about that are. And it's based on what they think they know. There's no actual full solid details about that. So the thoughts can get up and get worse and worse, and the rumors spread, and you get a case of telephone going. So all of a sudden, it's maybe it was just a department that was down for 2 months in a row, and by the time it gets across the whole company, the company's been losing money for 2 years, and they're closing their doors next week. And it's all this, and it can be such a wildfire that actually a lot of companies have rumor policies. And because the best way to actually handle a rumor is not to address that problem with a person on the same level as you. It's actually a better thing to go to the person above you, go up the chain of command. You go up the chain of command, they can address that issue and fill in the information that you need to have, if it's something that you need to have. Because a lot of times, details of the company are kind of a nunya, which means none your business. So it can, when you let rumors run rampant, they really do a number on reducing the morale of the company. And so, yeah, all of a sudden it almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of, yeah, we're going downhill. Everybody's leaving. And so you start seeing everybody leaving and you start trying to make that mean something. When in reality, it was just, John left because he was going to start up his own business, and Ralph left with him because, well, they were good friends, and yeah, they were probably some of the better salesmen in the company, but that doesn't mean that the company's going downhill. So you can Navy, if you were in the Navy, you knew when underway there was always scuttlebutt fires that you were having to try to put out, or the captain was always trying to put out. And scuttlebutt is just a Navy term for a rumor. It's just gossip. So it was always going around, and it was always interesting for the captain to when he was doing his kind of report and stuff at the end of the day, that he kind of let the crew know what was going on. He would say, and the scuttlebutt has been, has been active today, and he'll start going through and putting to rest all the different rumors that were around. So there was always something for him to be putting out. And that's just, you get a lot of people together. They're going to all talk, and there's always going to be drama. Again, there's always going to be drama that fills up. So how do you minimize drama? Well, first off, you got to be aware when you're wrapped up in a dramatic story. A lot of times it is easy for us to see other people wrapped up into dramatic stories because we have yet to be emotionally invested into that story. So we hear all the emotional nuances of the person's story, and we realize, well, okay, yeah, they're wrapped up in a dramatic story. But then it's really hard for us to see when we are, because it is in our mind. It becomes so real. We have really started to put, 2 and 2 together, and we're definitely getting a 4 out of that. So, but how do you actually minimize that? Well, one of the best ways is just to start asking yourself questions. Like, how does this story benefit you? You can come up with some pretty decent actions of self-deceit in that by asking that question, but you're at least disengaging the reptile part of your brain and shifting it over to the prefrontal cortex. You're really taking a lot of the emotional ground and moving it, getting it out of the way. You can then actually start trying to look at the story and separate the emotional lines away from the factual lines, and you kind of start weeding out things that are not quite all that important and be able to actually see what little you actually know. And from there, you can start trying to find out, hey, is this really happening? Is this really true? And you find out that, oh, okay, that bit of fact that you know of was sort of true, but now that you have a better light shining on that thought, you see that, oh, okay, that's how it was. That's how it came to be. And so from there, looking at what is it that is making this story so frightful? What is it? What about it is actually causing the fear, causing the anxiety to raise? And you can go through and you can start looking at using the more logical part of your mind to see that, okay, we're just creating a whole lot of suffering and a whole lot big to do about nothing. And there's this, but it may not be nearly as bad as what you're thinking. Okay. Yeah. He's 35 minutes late. How often has your son been on time? You can start kind of really looking through details and see, hey, this is the fact. This is not a fact. And you can make your case to really drop the level of drama in your life, and you can start seeing and making decisions in a clearer light. Because if there is anything wrong with drama, the biggest one being that you can't make a very solid decision. If say, since we're in this COVID-19 lockdown world right now, it's, you're starting to allow drama into your life a whole lot because you're looking at the idiosyncrasies that your spouse is having. You're going, really, good gosh, dude, Chick, this is not something that you're getting yourself all worked up over. And the fact that they're worrying about stuff so much and you're not, you can actually help, guide them out of that realm of despair and anxiety, because that's all the amygdala really likes to do is make you worry, make you produce anxiety, produce fear, so that you're staying on high alert. So you get all this, you're not ever at the top of your game, and it's never good to make a decision based entirely upon emotions, because, emotions, yeah, they're nice to have, but they really suck when it comes to making very informed choices. Because again, the information in the processing part of your brain is not hanging out in the reptile department. It's hanging out in the human thought process department. So if you can get a hold on the drama, and you can start seeing and paying attention to in your life where drama is happening, you can actually do a better job of making sure that you're making the decisions based on actual information than actually making a decision that's going to turn out to be horrible in the end because you were in a excited, emotional state. All right. So while you're sitting around the house, or if you're trying to do something and, the drama crops up, give yourself a 5x5, step back, take a deep breath, allow that emotion to simmer down a little bit before you make a decision. If your wife has done something that, hacked you off, well, don't respond to that at that moment. Give yourself a half day. Heck, if you can, give yourself 24 hours before you respond to it. It'll really allow the amygdala to calm down and allow your prefrontal cortex to do some actual processing on the issue before you actually make a decision. And you can actually make better decisions, more informed decisions, and more confident decisions about what you and you are doing for you and your family. All right. So anyhow, I'm going ahead and let you go. We've still got a lot of spaces available for the Conclave of Men. If you would like to be able to join, we can help with that drama. If you're wanting to figure out how to have a calmer life, if you're wanting to be able to become a more thorough leader for your family and for your son, to get your life in order, to be able to get start realizing what your dreams are and making actual positive steps towards those dreams. I have spaces available at the Conclave of Men, which is our group for men who are wanting to become a better version of themselves. So I would love to have you over if you have any questions and or thoughts about joining the conclave, you can go over to relaxedmale.com. And at the top, you'll see where it says the Conclave of Men. You can go through and read the page about it. And from there, you can, if you want to join, you can join, or you can go to the contact me page and leave a contact. Now, something else I'm really toying around with. And so if you are interested in this, please start doing this. If you have a particular question that you're wanting answered, say you're wanting how do I really show up for my wife? How do I really show up for my son? How do I show my son that, getting mad, that, the rumors at school are nothing to be worried about? You have different types of questions like this. And you would like to have me answer them, please go over to, the, relaxedmale.com/contact and, fill out the form there, and you can from there just, ask your question and, submit it. And if I get enough of these responses, I'll go ahead and actually start sharing these out on the podcast, and we'll start working together through the podcast and see if we can get some tips and clues and get some communication with you actually going. I'd love to start hearing some more from you. So, all right. With that, I'm going ahead and let you go. If you like this show, please share it out with your friends and family and followers and all that on social media. And if you are listening to this through the iTunes podcast, please click subscribe, and it wouldn't hurt if you were to rate and review the show. If you are on any other podcast app, Overcast, Undercast, Stitcher, whatever, you can go to relaxedmale.com/podchaser, and there you can actually also leave a rate and review the show there. So, all right, I'll go ahead and I will let you go. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next week, guys. Till then, take care, breathe. We're getting better. I think we're on the downhill slide on most of this, the Rona. So hopefully we'll be getting back to some semblance of normal, if not getting back to normal soon. All right. Till next week. Bye.